She didn't confront the side chicks to warn them. She confronted them to form a team. Zainab had never felt this chosen. She stood barefoot on the balcony in Zanzibar, sunlight catching her skin, ocean stretching endlessly in front of her like a promise. Her phone was already up, angle perfected, robe slightly off her shoulder. Story posted. Within seconds, reactions poured in. Soft life. Good when. Unilag babes they enjoy sha. Kunle smiled from behind her, adjusting his watch. You like it here? I love it, Zainab said, meaning more than the place. This wasn't just a trip. This felt like proof that she had arrived. Back in Lagos, Damilola watched the story without blinking. She replayed it once, then again, not because it hurt, but because something felt familiar. The hotel balcony, the glass railing. She opened a gallery, scrolled, paused, her heart slowed. There it was, a picture from 4 years ago. Not hers, but one she had seen accidentally while borrowing Kunle's laptop. Another woman, same balcony, same angle, same caption structure, different wrist, same watch on Kunle's hand, faintly visible in the reflection. Damilola's fingers tightened around her phone. No, she whispered. She went deeper. Emails, old tags, archived folders Kunle never bothered to clean out. Different women, same hotels, same gifts, same timing. It was routine. Back on the island, Zainab was glowing. Kunle had just surprised her with his small box. I like spoiling you, she laughed. As you should. Kunle walked into the house, still smelling like airport lounges and foreign soap. He was relaxed, careless. Damilola was waiting, just seated on the couch, legs crossed, tablet on her lap, like she was about to present a proposal. You're back early, he said, loosening his tie. Yes, she replied. Sit. That word landed heavier than he expected. Kunle frowned, but sat anyway. What's this about? Damilola tapped the screen and turned it toward him. The first photo appeared. Zanzibar, balcony, a woman he hadn't thought about in years. Kunle blinked. What is this? She swiped. Another woman, same hotel, different year. She swiped again. Dubai, Accra, dates, receipts, messages. Kunle's face drained slowly, like someone realizing the room had no exits. How long? Damilola asked calmly. He scoffed, trying to recover. These are coincidences. She smiled faintly. Coincidences don't follow itineraries. He stood up. So what? You want to embarrass me, ruin your own marriage? No, she said. I want the truth. Kunle laughed sharply. Truth? You think you're the only woman in the world? Men like me. She cut him off. You've been cheating longer than I've known you. Kunle's voice rose. So now you're tracking me, digging into my past. You think that makes you innocent? Damilola stood too, but her voice never rose. I stayed quiet because I believed in us. You stayed consistent because you believed I was blind. He stepped closer. You won't do anything. You like this life too much. That was when she reached for her phone, picked up her bag. You don't know me anymore, Kunle. That's the problem. We're going to show you. The door closed softly behind her. Kunle stood alone in the living room, heart racing, not from guilt, but from fear. Zainab noticed the woman immediately, not because she was dressed to intimidate, but because she looked settled. They were at a quiet cafe, just off campus. Zainab had chosen it because it felt safe. Until Damilola walked in, Zainab's throat went dry. She had imagined this moment before, shouting, insults, maybe a slap. What she didn't expect was calm. You're Zainab, Damilola said, pulling out the chair opposite her without asking. Zainab straightened her back. Yes, and you must be. I'm his wife. Zainab laughed nervously. If you're here to warn me, you're late. He already told me everything. Damilola tilted her head slightly. Did he tell you about Aisha? Zainab frowned. Who? Damilola opened her tablet. This one was before you, Damilola said calmly. This one overlapped with you. And this one. She paused, letting the screen settle. He's currently messaging her. Zainab's hands began to shake. You're lying, she whispered. Damilola slid her phone across the table. Screenshots, voice notes, travel receipts. Zainab's chest tightened as recognition hit her. The words Kunle had used on her, the jokes, the promises, copied, pasted, recycled. He said I was different, Zainab said weakly. Damilola leaned forward. That's his favorite line. Tears welled in Zainab's eyes, anger fighting humiliation. So what do you want? She snapped. You want me to leave him so you can keep suffering alone? No, Damilola replied. I want you to see him clearly. She stood adjusting her bag. You can stay. He'll replace you eventually. She paused, then added softly. Or you can help me make sure he doesn't do this again. Zainab looked down at the table, the weight of truth pressing into her chest. It didn't start loudly. It started in group chats he wasn't part of. Zainab sat on her bed one night, phone in hand, while Damilola added one number after another. Women from different years, different phases. Same man. At first there was denial. This can't be the same Kunle. He told me his wife was abroad. He said I was the only one. Then the receipts came out. Same voice notes, same promises, same business trip excuses, different women, same script. One girl laughed bitterly. Another cried. One simply typed, "So he did this to all of us." That was when the planning started. Not revenge, exposure, quiet, intentional, surgical. One woman worked with a company Kunle had been trying to secure as a client for months. Another knew someone on his professional board. Another had access to documents he never thought anyone would look twice at. They didn't lie. They just stopped covering. Within weeks, things started slipping. A major client pulled out. No explanation, just we're restructuring. Another followed. Then another. At work, Kunle was called into a meeting. "We've received concerns about your conduct," his boss said carefully. "Nothing criminal," another added, "but reputational risk." Kunle laughed nervously. "This is personal." "Yes," the room replied without saying it. By the end of the month, his access cards stopped working. Sat. The house followed. Mortgage unpaid. Grace period expired. Lawyers stopped being friendly. The same house he once used to impress women became silent. Rooms echoing with the absence of admiration. Kunle sat alone on the floor one evening, back against the wall. Phone full of unread messages he no longer had the courage to open. Meanwhile, Zainab paid her own price. Her name traveled faster than she expected. Soft life ended abruptly. Friends distanced themselves. She went quiet. Damilola watched everything from a distance. She had already packed. Kunle called "You ruined me," he said. She replied calmly, "No, I just stopped lying for you." She hung up. Months later, life looked different for all of them. Damilola relocated quietly. New city, new routines, no explanations. She stopped being someone's wife and became herself again. Peace fit her better than patience ever did. Zainab returned to campus smaller, quieter. No soft life posts, no loud laughter. She learned the hard way that being chosen by a broken man is not success, it's delay. Kunle stayed. No job, no house, no audience. People didn't point fingers. They just stopped calling. And that silence, the kind money can't fix, became his punishment. Damilola never looked back because the real victory wasn't ruining him. It was leaving him behind.